One of the NBL teams for whom success won't come easily is the renamed and relocated Westside Saints, better known in the past as the all-conquering St Kilda Pumas. Before the National League power bases shifted to Brisbane and Adelaide, St Kilda was the team. But now they're starting afresh after a period of identity crisis. Kitty Chiller profiles the club that's trying to come in from the cold, making its way back from the wilderness.
This isolated stadium in Keilor will hopefully be the salvation of a basketball team, a team that were premiers in 1979 and 1980 and wooden spooners in 1986. Dean Templeton, now captain of the Westside Saints, played in the club's last premiership winning team.
Well, it's been a shock over that 6 or 7 year period, a bit of a change, just to see the whole change in the club and the feeling around the place. But I suppose it's not only has been a sort of a decrease in our abilities, it's also been an indication of how well the league's going now and how tough it is.
Much has been said about the incredible growth of the National Basketball League over the last few years. With a club in every state giving the sport a true national feel, crowd and sponsor support have risen dramatically. Victoria, though, still has 5 NBL clubs, none of which reached the finals playoffs last season for the first time in league history, giving rise to thoughts that perhaps one state cannot support so many clubs. One of those that must come under threat is the St Kilda Saints, but they're not content to sit back and wait for that demise. They've moved to a new stadium, changed their name to the Westside Saints and picked up a few new players. Coach Andy Blickabs is now enthusiastic about the seasons ahead.
Well, it's positive because we've got a future. It's almost better to be at the bottom of the ladder with a future and you can see how you're going to get up rather than to be middle of the road with no future on the way down. I think we've got a great stadium. We've got a tremendous area to work with. It's a young area, it's a growing area, so basketball-wise it'll be very strong. The area that we're marketing basketball to certainly is it might not be the size of Adelaide or it might not be the size of Perth, but I mean you're still talking about, I don't know, 500,000 people or so if you're looking at the whole northwestern area of Melbourne. So I mean we've got that ability to capture that same sort of support and identity as maybe Adelaide and Perth have.
But is a change of venue going to be enough to reverse the downward slide of the Saints?
Oh, undoubtedly, it's going to lay the foundation for what I believe is a very strong basketball program in the western, northwestern suburbs of Melbourne, and ultimately that's going to filter through very strongly to our National Basketball League side.
For all 5 clubs to survive in Victoria, it's up to teams like the Saints to be competitive in the National League. They had a tough start to the season, playing last year's premiers Adelaide on Friday and glamour side Perth last night. But they're not expecting miracles straight away.
This year, it's a building year, but for the future, I think we're looking very, very rosy.
How long do you think it'll take to get back up to the top again?
I've given us 3 years to get there, and I think we can do it easily within that 3-year period.
We shall see. Well, rather like the West Coast Eagles, the Westside Saints have been set the stiffest of challenges to start their new life. As Kitty Chiller said, on Friday night the Saints had to travel to Adelaide to face the reigning champion Adelaide 36ers, to whom they lost badly 131 to 105. They then had to hop on a plane to Perth to face the resurgent Perth Wildcats, winners of the recent Australian Basketball Classic under new coach Cal Bruton, and playing in the Wildcats' brand new stadium for the first time. Before we check all the results in the league ladder, here are the closing stages of the Saints' second test.
124 plays 103, 2¼ minutes left in the game.
Well, this Saints team, they've just acquired Lewis as a player only a few days before the game, so they don't really know how good of a player he is, and he's not really familiar with their style of play yet. I can see this team getting to be extremely well as the season goes on.
Here's Larkins, puts the ball inside to Wayne. There's Kuiper again under the basket. More strong work from him.
He's a big man. He's a very big man.
6'11" is Paul Kuiper, 211 centimeters.
Yes, and he weighs about as much as a car. He's a big man. It's like a building down there.
Good work inside by Eric Watterson to James Crawford. We were talking about Kuiper a minute ago. He's got 17 points for the game.
There it is, the JC again. Just powers it up very strongly.
Basket at the other end to the West Side Melbourne Saints, but it isn't going to make any difference. Less than a minute and a half to go. 126 plays 107.
Behind the back pass to Waters. It's fun ball right about now. Here he comes.
The Fitz attempted the tip in, but it's Crawford who puts it away.
That's about it.
21 points the advantage to the Wildcats. 105 to play. Here's Larkins. He's worked hard while he's been on court. So is Lewis with the ball now. Peter Wayne, he can score a lot of points. There's 2 more for him. Kuiper drops the ball at the feet of James Crawford. Eric Watterson now. Trevor Torrance runs the ball right side. Looks back for Watterson. Eric Watterson unable to put it away. James Crawford will try. He can't put it away. Battle of the short men between Watterson and Larkins, who puts it away to Kevin Lewis.
Strong move.
In it goes. Good work. That was pretty to watch.
Great pass.
Trevor Torrance draws the foul. The basket will stand. Referee Peter Lucas says, yeah, keep the score there. 2 points. Foul is on 13. That's John Schwartz. Trevor Torrance at the free throw line will take 2 with just 25 seconds left on the clock. Some of the crowd starting to leave us now.
Yes, well, Dave, I'm not going to mention anything about the Wildcats free throw shooting.
Don't say anything about it. You see, it works every time. Don't say anything about my chances of a pay rise either. Here's Wayne Larkins. As I said before, Larkins has worked hard this game. He's been valuable. Schwartz, they're just playing timeout. Under 10 seconds to go now. Nice work, James Crawford.
JC looked like he blocked that.
Trevor Torrance, good work. Eric Watterson up to Fitz. Here's the end of the game. Fitz can't quite put it away. James Crawford! What a way to finish the game. The Wildcats' first game at Superdrome. They run out winners by 22 points, 133 to 111.
So a bad weekend for the West Side.